Imagine working alone in a silent aquarium late at night. The visitors are gone. The lights are dim. Only the sound of water echoes through the building. Then suddenly, you discover that one of the aquarium's creatures has escaped. Not a fish, not a seal, a giant Pacific octopus. But what makes this story extraordinary isn't the escape itself. It's the fact that this octopus may know secrets that humans have missed for decades. Secrets connected to a grieving mother, a son who vanished 30 years ago, and a mystery that refuses to stay buried. Late at night, Tova Sullivan continues her usual cleaning shift at the aquarium. Tova is a widow who lives a quiet and predictable life. But tonight, something feels wrong. Chairs are out of place. Trash is scattered across the floor. Then she notices movement beneath a table. A giant Pacific octopus is hiding there. Somehow, the creature has escaped from its tank and become tangled in an electrical cord. Most people would panic. But Tova slowly crawls closer. She speaks softly, trying not to frighten the animal. Every movement feels dangerous. One wrong move could trigger an attack.
Finally, she reaches the cord and pulls the plug free. What happens next surprises her. Instead of fleeing, the octopus moves closer. One tentacle wraps around her arm. For a brief moment, an unspoken connection forms between them. It almost feels like gratitude. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the octopus vanishes into the darkness.
Later that night, Tova follows a routine she has repeated for years. She walks alone to the old ferry dock. There, she stares out across the dark water. Her thoughts always return to one person, her son, Eric. 30 years ago, Eric disappeared without a trace. No answers were ever found. No goodbye was ever given. And no amount of time has eased the loss. While the world moved on, Tova never truly could. Every wave reminds her of him. Every visit to the dock keeps his memory alive. She doesn't just miss her son. She misses the future she was supposed to have with him. After witnessing Tova's strange encounter with the escaped octopus, the story suddenly shifts perspective. For the first time, we enter the mind of the octopus himself, and what we discover is far more surprising than anyone could imagine. This isn't an ordinary animal. This creature thinks, observes, judges, and remembers. His name is Marcellus. According to the information plaque beside his tank, a giant Pacific octopus should enjoy a diet of crabs, shrimp, clams, scallops, fish eggs, and countless other ocean delicacies. But Marcellus believes reality is much less impressive. Day after day, he served the same boring meals. Herring, more herring, and then even more herring. In his opinion, humans must buy herring because it's cheap. Meanwhile, the aquarium sharks receive fresh and delicious food. Marcellus considers this deeply unfair. Beneath his complaints about food lies a much deeper truth. Marcellus is lonely. For more than 1,300 days, he has lived in captivity. Every morning is the same. Every evening is the same. The same tank, the same walls, the same routine. He constantly dreams about the freedom of the ocean. He remembers what life should feel like. Endless water, endless possibilities. Instead, he now spends his days trapped behind glass while strangers stare at him.
As his narration continues, something remarkable becomes clear. Marcellus understands humans surprisingly well. He carefully studies their habits. He notices their personalities. He forms opinions about everyone who works at the aquarium. In fact, he often seems smarter than the people observing him. Marcellus believes most humans underestimate him. They see an animal. But inside his mind exists a level of awareness few would expect. Then, Marcellus reflects on the events of the previous night, the night he escaped from his tank. During one of his secret adventures, he discovered a discarded food container. The smell was irresistible. Sweet, salty, far better than the food humans normally provide. While trying to reach it, he became trapped. The electrical cord wrapped around him. Suddenly, freedom became danger. For perhaps the first time in a long while, Marcellus found himself unable to solve a problem alone. Then, someone appeared. The aquarium's night cleaner. Tova Sullivan. Marcellus watched her approach carefully. She could have panicked. She could have called for help. She could have left him there. Instead, she spoke softly. She treated him with patience. She treated him like a living creature, rather than a problem. Most importantly, she saved him. For the first time, Marcellus begins seeing Tova differently. Humans usually blend together in his mind. Visitors come and go. Workers come and go. Nobody truly matters. But Tova is different. She showed kindness when she didn't have to. She risked getting close to help him. And even though neither of them fully understands it yet, a bond has begun to form. This chapter is about much more than an octopus complaining about food. It introduces one of the novel's most important ideas. Both Tova and Marcellus are trapped. Tova is trapped by grief. Marcellus is trapped by glass walls. Both have lost something important. Both quietly dream about what they've lost. And without realizing it, both have started changing each other's lives. The morning after the strange octopus encounter, Tova tries to return to her usual routine. Every week, she meets with a small group of friends known as the Nitwits. For years, these women have gathered together to drink tea, share stories, and escape the loneliness of growing older. Once, there were 7 members. Now, only 4 remain. Time has slowly taken the others away. As soon as Tova arrives, her friends notice the dark circular marks on her arm. The marks left behind by Marcellus's tentacles. Everyone immediately starts asking questions. Is it an allergy? A rash? Something serious? Tova hesitates. She knows the real answer sounds ridiculous. Who would believe that an octopus grabbed her arm? So she simply brushes off their concerns. According to Tova, it was just a minor accident at work. Her friends aren't convinced. Around the tea table, each woman displays her unique personality. Farb tells dramatic stories. Marianne constantly worries about everyone. Janice tries to solve problems logically. Together, they've become a second family for one another. Yet despite years of friendship, Tova still feels slightly different from the rest. Their lives are filled with children, grandchildren, and family gatherings. Tova's life stopped moving forward the day her son disappeared. As the conversation drifts from topic to topic, Tova's thoughts quietly wander back to Eric, her only child. 30 years earlier, Eric was 18 years old, a good student, well-liked, trusted by everyone around him. Then one night, he vanished. Without warning, without explanation, without a trace. According to the official story, Eric was working at the ferry dock. He was supposed to lock up the ticket booth after the last ferry arrived. It was an ordinary evening. Yet sometime during the night, something happened. His belongings were later found abandoned. His wallet, his backpack, even his headphones. Everything was left behind.
Days later, a small boat connected to Eric was discovered. Authorities believed they had found the answer. The sheriff concluded that Eric had likely taken his own life. The town accepted the explanation. The newspapers accepted it. Nearly everyone accepted it. Everyone except Tova. She never believed it. Not then. Not now. A mother knows her child.
While Tova struggles with memories of the past, the story introduces another important character, Cameron Casmore. At first glance, Cameron seems completely unrelated to Tova's story, but appearances can be deceiving. Cameron is 30 years old. He's smart, funny, easy to like. Unfortunately, he's also incredibly unreliable. Jobs come and go. Opportunities slip through his fingers. His life never seems to move forward.
Early one morning, Cameron drives to a trailer park called Walena Mobile Park. He's there to help his Aunt Jean, the woman who raised him, the closest thing Cameron has to a parent. Jean is loud, stubborn, funny, and impossible to ignore. When Cameron arrives, he finds her arguing with the trailer park landlord. The argument revolves around a giant flowering vine growing behind Jean's trailer. Another resident claims there might be snakes hiding inside it. The landlord wants Jean to remove the plant. Jean refuses. Cameron immediately takes her side. Using random facts about snakes not having eyelids, he manages to embarrass the landlord. Eventually, the landlord retreats. The battle is won. Afterward, Cameron enters Jeannie's trailer. The inside tells a different story. Clutter covers nearly every surface. Papers, boxes, books, and random belongings fill the rooms. Cameron remembers a time when Jeannie wasn't like this. Something happened over the years. The clutter seems connected to deeper struggles. While drinking coffee together, Cameron reflects on his childhood. His mother abandoned him when he was young. One weekend visit with Aunt Jeannie turned into forever. His mother never came back. Jeannie stepped in and raised him as her own. She gave him. The conversation eventually turns toward work. Cameron admits he has lost another job. Jean becomes frustrated. She knows how intelligent he is. She believes he could accomplish much more. But Cameron seems trapped by his own poor decisions. Deep down, he feels like he's constantly disappointing the people who care about him. The box. Before Cameron leaves, Jean brings out a small box. Inside are belongings that once belonged to his mother. She offers them to him. Cameron immediately refuses. Years of abandonment still linger inside him. The woman who left him behind remains a wound he has never fully healed.